Elon Musk will be the person charged with providing advice on the streamlining of government. Now, that could mean any number of things. It could mean, I think, very little. It could also mean that as Donald Trump prepares to enact his, very ambitious agenda, that Elon Musk will be at his side. And that'll be my bet. I mean, I think the job thing is probably a distraction. The most important question in the Trump White House is who has Trump's ear. And right now, that's Elon Musk. And I think as we put together this story and as I've been thinking about this, Elon Musk throws him into these companies. And famously, he has 6 different companies, Tesla and SpaceX, his car company and rocket company being the big ones. I think we need to start thinking about politics, and in particular, Elon Musk's role in right-wing politics, whether it's the next Trump administration, or even beyond that, as his other big company, as something that he is going to be devoting a lot of time to and trying to use it, frankly, to benefit his other interests.
We were just chatting with Joe Matthew about this, and so we were discussing about how by leading a commission specifically outside of government, Elon Musk doesn't have to divest his personal financial holdings when making recommendations to the White House on federal spending and regulations that he wants to cut. I mean, what sort of precedents do we have for something that's created that's supposed to be specifically outside government, and what power can he yield and not yield? Do we have any indications on that?
There have been lots of presidential commissions. This kind of thing is not necessarily anything new. It's really just a question of how closely is Donald Trump listening to it. And when Elon Musk, he suggested all kinds of very radical things that are likely to be either difficult to achieve, like practically working within the confines of government, or wildly unpopular, or both. So, he suggested, for instance, that he's going to Twitter the U.S. government, suggesting, massive layoffs. Remember, he laid off 80% of the Twitter staff. He is not going to lay off 80% of the U.S. government. I think that would be a very, very, very surprising thing if it were to happen. That said, Trump is going to try to defund aspects of the government, and it really seems like Elon Musk is going to play a role in deciding what gets defunded, which is, of course, is going to raise all sorts of ethical concerns and questions. And because there are ways that President-elect Trump is going to be in a position to, say, squash investigations into Elon Musk companies, or direct funds to Elon Musk companies, or slow down some of Elon Musk's competitors. And so, it's going to keep journalists busy. I'm sure that the left is going to be very focused on this over the next couple of years, because Elon Musk, who's a polarizing guy, is going to be tied to this administration very closely.
I mean, Elon Musk, you cited in your article, and you just mentioned here, all the companies he runs, Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, on and on and on. How many hours in a day does this guy have? I mean, you
haven't even mentioned his video games.
When you think about how many companies he owns, too.
Yes, he plays a lot of video games, which, is one of the many head scratchers with this extraordinary man. I think we've seen investors in some of these other companies get concerned. And, right now we're in the middle of this kind of honeymoon phase. There's a mania to the way Elon Musk is talking about this stuff. He's at the he's in Mar-a-Lago. He's in Washington now. Trump family members are referring to him as Uncle Elon. You got to think that this is not going to last. And if it were to last, that there would be a bit of a come down, because as you say, Tesla is a big, complicated company with lots of challenges. And right now we're seeing a lot of investors bid up the stock, but there isn't a ton of, it's not like there's a clear rationale for why Tesla is suddenly worth like 40% more than it was before the election, except that, hey, maybe Trump's going to make things better. But there are going to be challenges, and distraction is going to be something that we're going to be looking at.